So at bloody long last, the club have made a decision. Finally, a decision has been made, and David Moyes has left the club at the end of the season. With Lopetegui expected to be the manager, I think it's pretty certain that's going to be the case now. Not my choice, I'm going to be honest. Fonseca or Amorim, for me, were the sort of the two front runners that I wanted to see at the club. But that's not to say Lopetegui is going to be a bad appointment for West Ham. I think it's wrong to suggest that. We don't know, do we, at this stage? And he's a highly rated manager. We know he's done very well throughout his career. So I'm certainly not dismissing him and going in with a negative view of it. Do you know what I mean? As much as I'm not thrilled, I don't want to start a new era under a new manager. Going under a cloud. Do you know what I mean? It's like we've just had all this with David Moyes. The last thing we need is to sort of carry that on. It feels like it's a chance now to reset a little bit. And I think as a club, a fan base, everything. You know what I mean? It's like it's been so toxic of late the last year or two with surrounding David Moyes. It's really created so much division, and it'd be nice now to sort of see that come to an end and sort of go into a bit more of a united front. I mean, you're always going to have obviously certain people, etc., or certain fans, etc., aren't happy. Then that's fine. You know, I mean, you're allowed to feel that way. I certainly am not thrilled. I'm not sitting there buzzing about it, but at the same time, I do feel a sense of relief. And I think, as far as I'm concerned, I think there's an easy win here for the club, and in particular, David Sullivan. Now, David Sullivan, he's been fortunate the last few years because David Moyes has been the one who's been taking a lot of the stick, and he's been able to sort of sit back and not really have to do much. Well, usually it's on the board, but it's been a lot aimed at David Moyes and his team, etc. Well, David Moyes. He's not going to get that anymore. That's not going to happen. This is a big, big gamble for David Sullivan because he's going against what many were hoping to see, which was this younger and really ambitious appointment. We haven't really got that. We've got an older manager, so that's not ticked that box. Don't get me wrong, great experience. He's obviously worked at Real Madrid. He's done well, and obviously managed Spain, etc. He's won the Europa League with Sevilla. I mean, he's done very, very well throughout his career, but it's probably not the sort of like the sexy, shiny managerial appointment we were all kind of expecting or hoping to see from David Sullivan. David Sullivan doesn't care what the fans think. Let's be honest. We've known that since he's been in charge. He's always been quite a case of he does what he wants to do. That being said, though, the update from ExWHUEmployee indicates actually a better picture than that. Because I think from the outset, what it looks like, if you kind of see a snapshot of what's happened here, Tim Steidten and Mark Noble want this guy, David Sullivan wants this guy, it's a cheaper option, and we're going for that. And I think that's understandably why a lot of fans will be quite annoyed, and I've seen petitions, etc., about it. But from what we understand, actually, ExWHUEmployee has provided an update on Patreon, and the update is actually different to that. It isn't painting that at all. What it's suggesting is that Tim Steidten, Mark Noble, etc., are drawing up a list of managers. I've been speaking to quite a few of these managers, Lopetegui obviously being one of those as well, and has actually been very sold on him as well as a manager, and will work. This is the key bit, that Lopetegui will work as a head coach under Steidten. Steidten will be in firm control when it comes to transfers and the modelling of the club and how we're going to run. And that Lopetegui is just effectively going to be in charge of football matters on the pitch. This is what West Ham fans need to see. This is what we've been wanting, is this model, this modern model of how we set up. Because let's be honest, we've been so stuck a little bit in the dark ages in the last few years, haven't we, under David Moyes? Don't get me wrong, we've seen some great results. I'll come to David Moyes probably in a minute. But we want to see that change. And I think it's an easy win here. I think there's a really easy win for David Sullivan, for the football club, for everybody involved in regards to Lopetegui. And the reason I say it's an easy win is because all they need to do is when they announce the manager, which we believe is soon, really soon from what ExWHUEmployee is suggested, it's actually going to be brought forward. They're going to announce the manager soon because why not? You know what I mean? We know David Moyes is now going. I don't really think it makes a big difference. So it's likely we're going to be getting Lopetegui announced. But what they can do with this is play this really well. If I was the football club, if I was in charge of this, I would say, right, Tim Steidten, you're making the announcement. You're going to be heavily involved in this. You're going to be doing the press conference with him. Do you know what I mean? Get them together. Show that this is a Steidten appointment. This is a Steidten project, because that's what we were told it is. That's what we believe it to be. And that's massive. That is the key to all of this. That will get a lot of the fans, not everybody, but a lot of the fans on the side pretty quick. They'll go, okay, we've got a head coach. Also, another little nugget that's quite interesting out of what X advised is that Lopetegui himself has allowed for a clause, an easy get out clause for West Ham in this contract. So I believe I I don't know the timescales yet. I think it's 2 years for year option. I think that's what I've seen rumours of that. Okay. But what Lopetegui has done is inserted a clause, well, we agreed a clause where West Ham can get out of the deal pretty quickly. That's how confident he is. And I like that. I think that's good because that shows a fair amount of confidence from the manager's side, doesn't it? And his team. So we don't worry about that. We're going to do well. I think there's also the year option as well. I've seen reported, to add the third on is if we get European football. So I'm liking that. I really am. But as I say, I think for me as a fan, right, I've just don't know about you, but I've just been so drained with the toxic nature surrounding West Ham the last couple of years. It's just been, although we've obviously won a trophy, that stuff has been great, but surrounding the manager has been so draining, and it's been and rightly so. I mean, the performances have been great. Our domestic form has been awful this season. I mean, look at this year. I mean, it's been horrendous since the turn of the new year. Really poor. Last season we were in a relegation battle all year. We've been taking some real drubbings, some real poor performances. Another one just gone against Chelsea. I didn't even bother talking about it. Don't want to think about that result. I don't know about you, but I'm checking out now this season pretty much nearly. I just want to get it done so we can move on, enjoy the summer, and then look forward to next season with a new side, new manager, etc. But I'll tell you what, I want to see as well, like more of a united front. Do you know what I mean? From fans, from everybody, just to feel like we're a bit more together, rather than this constant division. And you see it all the time online, people get attacked. And for any view they have about Moyes, it's been so awful to watch it and be a part of it. Do you know what I mean? It's horrible. So it'd be nice to see a new, fresh chapter. And West Ham can get hold of that pretty quick. If they can get Steidten, make it publicly, do you know what I mean? Make it very, very clear. I'm in charge. I'm the one running the show. I'm going to be one picking the players. This is the manager working for me. And show that sort of united bond between manager and technical director. I'll tell you what, it really would help. And it's an easy way to get around. It's so simple to do it. It really is. As I say, not my top choice, but me as Percy's fan, I'm behind it. Because I just want to see a change. I want to see West Ham step into the future, the next step of this football club, because my word, it has been a slog. It really has at times. It's not been easy. So it'd be great to see a far more slick operation in East London than we've got, we've experienced over the last few years. But I will say as well, quickly on David Moyes, it's the right time. I think it must be a relief for him as well. He knew this was coming. We've all known this for quite some time. As I've said in the previous videos, I was getting so frustrated with the Sullivan mindset of constantly kicking the can along the road and dragging things on, and just exhausting, really tiring to keep having everything about this club with a big question mark over it. I'm so tired of it. Stadiums, contracts, and players we're buying, manager future. It's just been so frustrating. So it's really nice to finally actually have something put to bed and a bit of a definitive answer now what's going on. But regardless of my feelings on David Moyes, I'm not a fan of the style of football. There's certain things I've not been impressed with, the academy side of things. I found frustrating, certain treatment of players, etc. But I'll tell you what, though, I'll always be grateful for the good times under Moyes. It's been amazing. Some of the things we've experienced the last few years really have been so special, and I'll always cherish it. And I'm just glad for him that he gets the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? Just to say goodbye to the fans, and it's just to end it well. Do you know what I mean? End this right. I was really concerned that the club were going to wait until after the Man City game. I really moaned about it in a couple of videos ago about Sullivan, thinking, well, what was the point? What's the point in dragging this all on? And then there was no point. So I'm at least the club have done something right in that regard, just to finally put it to bed. As I say, the managerial appointments, we'll wait and see, won't we? We don't know. What's the point in saying, oh, it's a bad appointment? Don't know. We could go and compete for the title next season. I know we will, but you never know. But what I'm saying is, let's get behind him. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather just get behind the new manager and try to, look forward and look upwards and be a bit excited again. Do you know what I mean? And I think there's reasons to be excited. But if the club play it right and get Tim Steidten involved, then my word, that's a good way of getting fans on side.